it's all because a girl named April came and rolled on in. Lorelai's betting there will still be a wedding. She doesn't want it getting under her skin.
The kid is a genius, but the problem we're seeing is that Luke is acting like a buffoon. Takes his time as a father, he don't wanna be bothered. There ain't no way they're getting married in June. Oh! Now that Kristen fell off the plan to ruin her master plan.
And Friday night's alright for fighting if you're in the Gilmore clan.
Lorelai and Rory are coming over, setting Emily and Richard right. So buckle up and hold on tight, 'cause Friday night's the night. Oh, 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 oh.
High notes are hard. High notes are hard. It's a struggle.
Now Paris blows a fuse at the Yale Daily News. The entire staff quits to avoid her abuse. So she holds up in a cage made of paper and roofing. Time for doing some reviewing and a little proofing.
And that's when young Chris moseys along, charms his way into the system and diffuses the bomb. He gets the Daily News out to the press, but does it push him to the top, make him better than Jess? Oh, now that Christopher's paying for college, the family is on the outs.
And Friday night's alright for fighting if you're in the Gilmore house. Lorelai and Rory are coming over, said Emily and Richard right.
So buckle up and hold on tight, 'cause
Friday night's a night. Alright, oh, oh, oh.
Come on.
Gilmore Girls, 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 Gilmore Girls. La la la, la la, episode 613. Friday, alright, alright,
Fighting. The energy just dropped. Sorry.
This was
Friday
a bad
night's
idea.
alright for fighting. Welcome to Gilmore Guys. I'm Kevin.
I'm Timmy.
And we're the Gilmore Guys. This is good. This is good. It's
This is
very
a
good.
bonus.
This is a bonus?
It's a bonus. I don't know why I said that.
It is a bonus. You guys are part of the few, the proud, the people that
The
purchased
Marines?
they purchased their tickets in the first 2 hours. You won. 4 p.m. can suck it.
Fuck you, 4 p.m. Fuck you, 4
No,
p.m. No, whoa, no.
Some of you were there. It's okay.
They're like us, fuck us.
Oh, man. This space is more beautiful than we deserve. Chicago is more beautiful than we deserve.
Thank you guys so much.
But we're here. We could not be more grateful for all of you coming out to talk about this episode 613. This
Friday
is
night's all right for fighting.
This is our third show in 48 hours. So you're either getting the best of the best, or mess of the mess. Or the mess of the mess. Utter disaster where you see our gas tank slowly being depleted over the next 2 hours. And you see Demi and I melting into a haze of fog and memory and Lorelai team who I don't know. You might see that before your very eyes. We hope that doesn't happen. We want to give it our all. We want to give it our best. The way I'm pacing, it does feel like a TED Talk, right? I'm okay with that if you guys are okay with that. I mean, truthfully, the pacing, here's my dream is like, one day I'm like the most famous stand-up comedian. I'm like Louis C.K. or Carlos Mencia, like one of the greats.
Tell your story, Kevin. Tell your story.
And then my catchphrase is like milk, no cookies, or something like nonsense and bullshit like that. So I say milk, and then you guys say no cookies. Like I go, and then I said milk, no cookies. Yeah.
And then you're just like. That's the move. That's the Def Jam move. You tell a joke, you do the punchline, you're just like...
I don't know what the crossover with Def Jam comedy and Gilmore Girls is, but I think
the crossover is the color gray.
I think we found out the Venn diagram is actually two circles very far apart.
The Venn diagram is a tracing of some binoculars. Anyway.
Oh, man. Well, we could do this, or we could meet our special guest. You guys want to meet our special guest for tonight?
I want you to meet my special guest.
La la. La la, special guest.
Well, he is an actor. He is a comedian. You can see him on Chicago Med or the upcoming Christopher Guest movie Mascots. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Ross Kimball!
La la, Kimball.
I think we have a good vibe going on, right?
We got it, some good vibrations.
Hey, everybody.
This feels good. So we were debating backstage. Ross said, do I go hat? Do I go no hat?
No hat. Someone immediately said no hat. Mom, you can go. Thank you.
Oh, Mrs.
Thank
Kimball,
you for coming.
no.
Mrs. Kimball. That's what I call her. I call her Mrs. Kimball.
But what happens if Ross turns the hat backwards?
The bill goes away.
That's right. You can't see because it's a lot of lights.
Ross, thank you so much for joining us on the show tonight.
Well, thanks for having me. This is, I'll be honest, I'm floating still. When you guys asked me, I'm a huge fan. I've watched the episodes, all of them.
Wow.
Up until
when?
season 7. Haven't watched season 7.
You haven't?
Haven't, and that's honest. That's honest. I watched it 4 times. I'm gonna ask, are there any boyfriends that brought their girlfriends to this show? Oh, we got a few? That was my story in San Francisco. My girlfriend doesn't watch this show.
Oh yeah, Ross came to our live show in San Francisco, and she was not feeling it, right?
No.
Not feeling it.
She was like, this will be your birthday gift. And I go, I appreciate that.
Oh man, so how'd you get into the show?
Let me think. It was after the show. It was a few years after the show, and I was living in a building, and this one girl that I knew had, we were at a party, and she had all 7 seasons, box set. And I was like, what's that show? Because they were close together and bright colors, and I was like, what's all this? And I thought it was like Deep Space Nine or something I wouldn't be into. And she's like, it's Gilmore Girls, and I've heard about it, and I threw it on. 15 seconds, I was in.
You
I was
were
like,
all in?
whatever this is, I'm all in.
So I gotta ask you to divide the crowd as much as possible.
I think I know what you're gonna ask.
How are you? That's the question.
Boxers or briefs. Team Dean, Team Jess, Team Logan, Team Digger. No, not really.
For Rory still.
Digger for Rory.
Yeah.
When I know it's not the choice, but when you say this on the podcast, when you give them the 3 choices, I always say Team Marty in my car.
Whoa!
But he wasn't given a chance. He wasn't given a chance. That's okay. I love the hate.
For the
it just
listener
makes
at home,
me stronger.
We are hearing a cacophony of unsolicited opinions from the audience.
Just everyone's chiming in. I'll be completely honest.
Sure.
And there's different ways to answer this because there's a way of saying Jess was good for that moment. But in the long run, I think Jess, Team Jess all the way. I am. Even though, the booze only make me grow stronger.
Stop, you're giving him power!
No!
I feel my blood getting hotter. No, it's
man.
tough. Someone just said Jess is terrible, like he lives with him.
Oh man, he never cleans up his cereal bowls.
I wish when the audience was cheering for one person, someone else in the audience would just be like, "Okay, let me read my list of reasons. This isn't. You're wrong."
You just hear a bunch of paper.
Yeah, we will no bit zone establish this at the beginning. Don't talk while we're talking.
Don't speak.
Here's
like
the,
Gwen.
And Gavin. If you don't have a microphone, that means don't talk. So
And if you brought your own microphone, still don't.
I know it's the late show. It's fun to get sloshy and yell out things because everyone in the room needs to hear them, but we don't. So we appreciate it. Thank you. So the episode at hand. I know Daddy has to come out and discipline. And we don't want discipline, Daddy.
It's
all right?
worse when you talk about discipline. Like that just.
The discipline is me referring to myself as discipline, Daddy.
No, stop. No.
I'm there. I wanted that to happen. I'm glad it happened during the live show.
In the same way,
I'm glad it happened right next to me.
I'm very much team not disciplined Daddy.
Okay.
We do share one opinion though, and that is our opinion of Logan.
Very much true. Very much true.
Yes.
The guy is the worst. And this was the episode. This was the episode where I wanted to push him through a window.
Through a wall.
Yeah, right through a wall. To the window, right to that wall.
Okay.
That was Kevin's joke. I just said it louder. Yeah.
On stage credit. Well, the episode at hand is episode 613, Friday Night's All Right for Fighting. And the Netflix synopsis is Luke gets to know April. Okay? Rory tries to get the school newspaper published after the staff quits. All four Gilmores vent their frustrations.
So the thing about that first one is Luke gets to know one thing about April, and that's that she can do math better than him.
She reads.
Yeah.
She's literate.
The man owns a thriving small business, and they are blown away that this young lady, who's become a woman in front of us, can read.
You okay?
I'm fine. I just need to get it. I just need to find a space.
Little girl person.
Yeah, that she can read. And they talk about it for 40 seconds.
Oh yeah, they're amazed. I think what's happening is the princess of Lorelai's queen of the town, the princess of the town, Rory, has left a vacancy. And they're looking to throne whoever the next little precocious girl is. And they see, I almost called her Vanessa, they see April and they're like, it's her. I think that's what might be going on. To get into the discussion, we need to ask ourselves one question. How did the WB promote this show?
Let's find out.
In the year 2006. All right, yeah, let's lean down. Let's do the lean. And this promo was just etched into my memory for a long time just because of the stylistic choices. Here we go.
Next Tuesday, it's the biggest Gilmore fight ever.
You can apologize.
I was just trying to.
Do not raise your voice to your grandmother.
You just wanted to hurt.
I can't believe what I'm hearing.
So, how's Luke?
He is a kid.
A fresh new Gilmore next Tuesday at 8, 7 Central on the WB.
God.
I need that to be my ringtone, first of all.
I'm glad you mentioned that.
That cackle.
I'm glad you mentioned that because now it is officially my text tone for whenever Kevin texts me.
Should I text you now?
No need. I will just play it right into the mic.
Well done.
Yeah.
Well done. That's amazing.
That's the first thing I thought. I went back and rewound that. I was like, this feels
The first thing you thought is I need to make this my ringtone for Kevin?
Yes. I'm not going to make it my ringtone for my mom.
Oh, that'd be weird.
My mom's a lovely lady.
I also want to play, and we'll keep the lights up for this because it's just audio. I want to play the radio promo because they do some fun stuff in the audio editing for this one. So here's the radio promo for episode 613.
Catch a fresh One Tree Hill on the WB Wednesday.
Sure.
But first, the WB Tuesday hits it big with a fresh new Gilmore Girls.
What do you think?
I'm not quitting.
Oh, yes, you are.
I can't believe what I'm hearing.
It's the biggest knockdown, drag-out Gilmore fight ever.
Rory, do not cut your grandmother off.
Oh my God.
So, how's Luke?
He is a kid.
Fresh new Gilmore Girls.
I love that.
They had to
pencil.
keep it.
Still there.
They had to keep it because you don't need a visual.
No.
It's great.
But the bell ringing
The bell
and
ringing is great.
the sound effects of glass shattering and like Richard's doing a move on Roy ah! or something.
Choke slams.
They try to amp this up as if like it's the big part of it's not. It's the last 5 minutes.
It's the last 5 minutes. It is crucial, but it is the last 5 minutes. It is not the majority of the episode. If you watch that promo, you'd think like, oh, this is it. This is gonna be our like Friday night dinner bottle episode where it's like a play and they have everything out and blah blah blah.
I wish it was like that.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll talk.
But first, it's time for a little segment we call Pop
Goes
the where we take every pop culture reference in the episode and put them in a supercut and judge them as...
Can I just interrupt for a second?
Yes.
How do you feel when people finish things that you created in your head?
It's great. It's like we finish each other's.
I swear I heard sandwiches.
No, yeah, that was correct.
Someone in this row said sandwiches.
I think everybody said sandwiches, which great. Bellissima.
Spicy meatball.
That's a very spicy.
Someone said sweatpants.
This is crazy. I love
sandwich. All right, this is episode 613. Friday night's all right for fighting. Pop goes the culture.
Because I will cry and eat a pint of Rocky Road while watching An Affair to Remember with Rita Wilson.
They are the bridges of Madison County, and you are Meryl Streep. Christopher Isherwood, that cabaret money was burning a hole in his pocket, and you know what, Christopher, Mom?
But if Punxsutawney Phil sticks her head out of her hole, I am out of here.
Wow, Ice Ice Baby. It hurt so good, as Mr. Mellencamp said.
They threw Naomi Campbell level hissy fits and quit. I'm finishing up a review of the Drama Club's production of Sweeney Todd now.
But this is not slick. This is a Nora Ephron movie. Louis Armstrong should be warbling as we talk, so come on.
You know what else I find amusing?
Reno 911. Rowan? Martin?
Well, you better get bitten by that radioactive spider pretty damn fast here.
And they're not gonna like it. It's gonna go over badly. It's gonna be the opening night of Taboo all over again.
How is he once he's on the leash?
Oh, he's totally fine having his personal freedom slowly stripped away, as long as he's completely unaware that it's happening, just like a true American.
Bush.
Logan's references, it's like he really wants to get Rory back, so he just looked up romantic comedy stuff.
Yeah.
It is like he scanned the Nora Ephron Wikipedia, right?
It feels like he's just pandering. He's like, you and me, Nora Ephron, Nancy Meyer, The Intern, like...
The Intern was
How do you know that movie's coming out? The Intern? That's not for another 7 years.
Gotta go.
He's a time-traveling rom-com lover. The Intern was good, just so we're clear. It was pretty...
Oh, one person in the audience just had to yell it no.
Yas B. That's what I hear. Folks. Wait, were there any other pop culture things we wanted to go over?
Does Rory know how Spider-Man works?
Yeah, Spider-Man works is you get bitten by a radioactive spider and then proof a lot of paper.
Okay.
Yeah, that
Just so we're all clear, that's what the movie was, right? That's how Spider-Man works?
I think her identifying model in that was the J.K. Simmons character at the Bugle.
I think she was just talking so much during Spider-Man, she missed a few key details.
Sure.
She was like, Spider, oh wait, why is he at a newspaper? Oh, photographs, okay. No, I get it.
The end, I got this down. Folks, this is a big episode. This is the it's past the mid, but it's the mid-season mark for season 6. And it is a milestone in the show and one that kind of looms large in the mythology and how a lot of the fans look at the show, because this is one... For one, a big stylistic departure in the last 5 minutes of the episode. And finally, also having it out, getting everyone in the same room, yelling, screaming, fighting, la la la, blah, 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 da da da. So, there's a few things that lead up to it. There is Luke, unfortunately, canceling the wedding. And Suki's reaction to it is unkind, I would say.
Not a friend.
Not a good friend.
Not how a friend should have reacted.
The worst friend of the bride,
Suki,
by far.
Be a buddy.
It's also just, the idea that she immediately, if she knew Luke at all, she would immediately assume, oh, what did he do? But she's like, you bitch, why would you do this?
Well, maybe she knows Lorelai well. And she's like...
Well, that's the thing. It is conflicted because it's like, she got cold feet with Max Mendee's nuts.
Still...
But okay, I want to play the clip and then we can...
I'm surprised I haven't seen that.
We can draw
T-shirt out here. Max Medee's nuts. That should be a T-shirt out here.
Interesting out of them.
Suki.
Yes.
The wedding has been postponed. What did you do?
What did I do? Did you get cold feet? You can't get cold feet. We need to put some nice wool socks on those feet because Luke is perfect for you.
I know.
He waited for you to get over Christopher. He waited for you to get over Max.
Suki,
Why do you do this? Why do you want to make yourself miserable?
He has a kid.
Who has a kid?
Luke has a kid.
Luke has a kid.
Luke has a kid.
A kid like a goat?
A kid
Pretzels,
like a daughter.
Jerry.
She's 12 years old. He found out a few months ago and he just told me about it yesterday.
Holy moly.
He's completely in shock. And he's trying to handle it the best way he can.
Drinking?
No.
Xanax?
No, he's trying to be a father and I applaud that.
So for 12 years, Luke's had a daughter out there just walking around?
Yeah.
That is crazy. Oh my God.
What?
I wonder if Jackson has a love child.
What?
I saw this kid wandering around town the other day. He looked exactly like Jackson, and his voice was exactly like Jackson. Plus, he was holding a banana, so I think he likes fruit.
Suki Jackson doesn't have a son he doesn't know about.
Why not? Luke had a daughter he didn't know anything about.
I know.
Hey, you think Luke's the only one with a past? You think Jackson was a monk when I met him? He had seed, and he passed it around.
What?
Sorry.
What?
Sorry.
Jackson! Few things. A lot to unpack, but number one, Suki's on the case with that hat.
Oh my God!
Yes.
She's a little kid detective, isn't she?
Now
on
we
the
know
case.
we know why she's not going to be in the revival. It's because she's busy touring with the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. Stop it.
That is a trumpet hat if I've ever seen it.
It is. She's in the back.
Yeah.
The trumpet.
Also, any Alabama fans? Bear Bryant, coach? Got a few? That's a Bear Bryant hat, correct? We got a 14 yes, okay.
I'm satisfied with that. Because it is conflicting. Because, yeah, Lorelai's gotten cold feet before, so she would assume that it is her fault. Maybe we would assume it was her fault if we didn't know about Luke's secret daughter.
I wouldn't
Maybe if we didn't know
assume
about
anything. I wouldn't immediately go, "What did you do?" I would say, "What happened?" Just ask.
that. Like a good friend would.
I think 97% of us would answer that way. Tell me what happened. I want to hear more. I want to unpack this. Instead
97
of like, what you do. Yeah.
It's so quick too. It isn't like she doesn't even take a moment to process what she's just been told. She just goes, "Oh, I knew it. You." Like, it's frustrating.
It's reactionary, and it's kind of a bummer.
I love Lorelai's reaction though, when she's like, "What did I do?" and she did the side to side.
Yeah,
that was great.
Yeah,
like that's not something that you should say to me right now.
Yeah, and she's kind of cross while collapsing at the same time.
Right.
You
A
can
lot
tell
of geography.
You can tell she's doing that thing of like, "Oh, as soon as you stop talking, you're about to be real embarrassed." Like where she's just like, she's stewing inside, but she's also like, "I can't yell at her, but I would really love to."
That is a nice position of power to be in. When someone confronts you with something that's like, you are very wrong, but I'm going to keep cool and quiet.
Oh wait, because I have all the information in my head.
That's right.
Let me pull out this book.
Oh, I thought you actually were pulling out a book.
I did too. I thought you were reaching out. I was like, oh, I
wish.
For the listener at home, Demi, do you want to describe your new sweatshirt?
Yes, this is a shirt that a friend of mine designed that we are going to be selling eventually, which depicts all 5 of the Gilmore Guys. That is Logan, Dean, Jess, Kevin, and I as a boy band.
It has the NSYNC star.
That is the NSYNC star. You'll see a better photo of it on the internet.
It is so presumptuous of us to
all
put
in different
ourselves-
shades of pink.
I love
it.
this.
I do love it.
It was designed in color, but she gave us a pink version, and I'm so happy with it. Her name is Faye Orlove. She's a wonderful graphic designer, but you'll be able to see it, and we'll sell them eventually whenever we get our shit together and get the online store running. Don't email us.
Covered all your bases. Ross, how do you feel about April? Do you love her so much?
I'll let
Ross.
you answer for me. Thank you. No, I go back and forth because I want to feel for her because she wants to reconnect with her dad.
Kinda. She seems a little ambivalent about it in the last episode.
I would say, yeah, Luke more so.
Yeah.
On his part wants to connect, but she's a little much. I taught for a few years at junior high, 6th grade. And you guys were in 6th grade?
That's right.
Great. Welcome
it's
to
the
the
best
show.
grade.
We were all in 6th grade once.
Welcome to the show, guys.
Where my 7th graders at? Okay.
And I taught a few Aprils in my day, male and female. And,
Taught a few Aprils,
yeah.
I'd say.
And so you just have to know how to deal with them. You know what they want to do, and they're very focused. And what I'm trying to say is I don't like April. And I'm trying to say she's super smart. Super smart.
Oh, we'll give her that.
Yeah, super smart, but I think there's a thing where she just doesn't know how to talk to people or interact with someone. I don't teach anymore, so I can just talk about.
You could shit talk all those little bastards.
Yeah.
I like to imagine that you walked out on stage and someone in the audience was like, "Oh my God, my old teacher, Mr. Kimball," and then just like, "I love that dude. I used to talk to him all the time about he's talking about me."
I'm the April.
That explains why you called me April.
I was
once.
the April. Hey, April. Jessica. Whatever.
Yeah. It was in Florida. It was in Florida.
It was me, Kimball, the April of all your pain.
Oh, yeah.
I
Good
am
thing I know
the
how to deal
April.
with you.
The episode begins on what might be, in a way, one of the saddest teasers they've ever done.
Super bummer.
Which is Lorelai waking up early because Luke, I guess, doesn't anymore. Because that was his whole thing, is they were learning like each other's rhythms, and you get up at this time, you get up at this
weekend.
time.
No, it's not. It's a Friday. Mm-hmm. It's in the title.
It's all right for fighting. And yeah, and she's tiptoeing around, and this is actually, maybe this is weird now, but this is the only time I like the use of clumsiness as a story device. I don't like it when it's Katherine Heigl like falling down and farting all over herself in a dumb rom-com.
Classic Katherine Heigl.
She loves to make a fool of herself.
But it shows how disconnected they are. That they are not, they bump into each other, and that's when she says, "Oh, hurts so good," like Mr. Mellencamp said, because they're not talking, they are not driving the car together, they are running into each other, bumper car style, and guys, maybe the bumpers are coming off and there's about to be a wreck. And that might be coming, unfortunately. Ooh.
Kevin, don't talk about car crashes. That's very insensitive.
Yeah, someone took that very personally.
Too soon.
Hey, I got in a wreck on the way here.
I had to push my car all the way.
I think John Lasseter, the director of Cars, is here as well. He flew out just for this very show.
He should take my mic. What am I doing up here?
Oh, man. Where do we want to begin? I want to talk about Logan in this episode. I want to talk about Logan in relation to Paris, because here is maybe a macro problem I have with the show. And feel
What
free.
does that mean? I'm sorry.
Just like a big picture problem.
Got it. And micro is opposite.
That's right.
Got it. Let's go. Let's move on.
What did you teach?
I taught shoes.
Okay. But one of the things they like to do on this show is to elevate one of the characters. They often reduce one of the other characters. Okay, so we need Jess to kind of be the knight in shining armor of the printing press, so we're gonna kind of demote Logan into like utter douche foolery with his like Bobo entourage at the bar. And in a similar way, it kind of sort of feels like they're doing that with Paris and Rory here. It sort of feels like that where, okay, we need to like amp up the crazy on Paris to 11 to the point where she like has a little serial killer hideout office.
It genuinely looked like True Detective.
Okay, let's watch that True Detective scene. This is Paris in her office.
Paris? Holy crap.
She's the Yellow King.
Carcosa.
What happened to this place? There's no air in here or light. Where are your fire exits? You love fire exits.
No one can write a lead. No one.
Paris, do you have any idea what's going on out there?
I can't think about that now.
Half the staff has quit. No, more than half the staff has quit, and there's no one out there working.
There's no one out there working when there's people out there working. Ship of fools.
Paris, the paper's not gonna come out.
Of course it is.
How? Nothing's done.
I'm working on it.
Alone?
I can do it alone. I've been doing it alone for months. No man is an island, but this woman is.
But Paris,
I've got it all scheduled out. As long as I stick to the schedule, everything's going to be fine. I'm finishing up a review of the Drama Club's production of Sweeney Todd now. Then, 9:30 to 10, I'm gonna finalize the layout. 10 to 11, copy editing. 11 to 12:30.
let me see that. Paris, there's like 100 hours of work on this, and 5 hours till the paper comes out.
I'll get it done.
Well, you better get bitten by that radioactive spider pretty damn fast here.
I'll get it done. I just have to focus and stop allowing myself to be distracted.
Paris,
Don't distract me!
I kind of feel bad for her.
How can you not? I almost cried. The death of characters does nothing for me, but Paris.
Who's gonna step up to the plate on this one, guys?
Okay, everyone, listen up. We have work to do. You,
Was that the
T-shirt,
Friends
you're doing
theme
layout.
song?
And you,
Yes.
saggy pants, get all the healers' numbers, call them, and tell them to get in here. They've just been promoted. And Tally, I need Sheila and Joni's numbers ASAP. Come on, people, move. We've got a paper to get out.
So how do we feel about this move, fellas? About Rory kind of taking charge, just like she took charge of that community service group she was a part of and knew where all the trash bags were and where to put them.
I find it respectable. I really don't think of it as a bad thing that Rory has done taking over. I feel like she understands that there's a responsibility to be done, and she's just like, in a way, I feel like she thinks she's helping out Paris. So, I mean, she's doing the right thing. It's just a weird idea for her to go like, all right, now I'm Paris. Everyone in line. Like, there's still 4 people there. It's not going to happen. But
The clapping is a little degrading. I will say that.
Yes. I wish you'd just been like,
Yeah.
get the paper done.
All right, guys, here's the plan. She knows nobody's name.
She was about to do number 12, number 4.
No, it was like sweatpants, unibrow. Like she was just calling out things about them. You're like,
Unibrow.
wait, you know me.
Oh no.
Also the not that they have. I was just saying that. I don't know what they look like. They probably didn't have a unibrow. I'm sure they look great. But also the hats go up to. I saw a 110.
Oh, we were talking about, it goes up to 112.
A lot of people on that staff, I guess.
Which, of course, we talked about this at the previous show, but this is a real thing based on the Roseanne writers' room that Amy Sherman Palladino worked in, where Roseanne would force her writers to wear jerseys so she could refer to them by their numbers instead of learn their names.
Who, Jackie, indeed.
Who, Jackie, on that one?
The crazy thing about that is it more humiliating to have a jersey or a hat?
I say jersey, because that kind of overtakes your whole being.
Here's my question. What kind of jersey? I'm fine with a basketball jersey, but if it's a hockey jersey, I'm not wearing it.
I thought it was like football jerseys. I could be wrong. Yeah. What's the verdict on that? Football jerseys.
I'm out. I'll write for somewhere else.
So this kind of clears the path for Logan to kind of step in and do the thing, because Logan's been on the outs with Rory. He tried the coffee cart thing in the previous episode and talking to her mom and having her write a strange letter, which we found out.
Okay, so not only does this letter exist at the WB lot, someone tweeted it at us and you can read it. I jokingly predicted what I thought it was, and I was pretty much correct. We will retweet it when episode 612 comes out, but I am like, it's insane. Like I'm so...
It is eerie.
It's gross.
It's very strange.
I'm just finding this out with you guys right now.
Yeah. Anyway.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so, I mean, and that's the thing. They wrote the letter, but it wasn't quite, you didn't leave 612 with Rory and Logan totally reconciled. So what's it going to be? What's it going to do? What's it going to take for Logan to get back into Rory's good graces?
Interested in some desking?
I'm on it. Computer crashed again.
Plug it back in. If that doesn't work, call IT and get someone over here now.
Now we got a SAG card.
Our date. I'm so sorry. Paris melted down and everyone quit and the paper wasn't going to come out, and I only found out about it because no one called me to confirm they got my story. So I called in all the healers and I got Sheila and
He looks
Joni
like
to
he's
come
not
in,
listening.
I called Pete, who said he was sick, but I threatened his job, so he came in, but he was really sick, so I just sent him home so he didn't get everyone else sick. Plus, the printers are trying to give our time away, the computers keep crashing, and then there's a tiny little detail of nothing's done.
What face is he
D-Day the
making?
paper came out, and I forgot. I'm sorry.
I can't believe you didn't call me.
I know, but it's just paper stuff.
I know I'm on the paper.
But you hate it here.
So what? I know this crap backwards and forwards. I can't believe you didn't even think to call me.
Well, I'm sorry, I just didn't think you were interested.
Well, then I guess you don't know everything now, do you? So come on, what do you got here?
Well, this is an article on Greenspan. He gave an interview with all this technical economic jargon.
I know the jargon. I'll take this. Are these proofed?
Yeah, but they're not typed in yet.
I'll do that. It'll be faster. I type 90 words a minute.
You do?
You really did only like me for my looks, huh? How you doing on content?
Still a little short.
Okay. I got a couple stories banked that I didn't get Paris. They're in pretty decent shape. You can take a look at them.
Okay.
And just remember, if you still need material, just cannibalize everything you have ready for Friday's issue and use it for tonight's.
Robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Peter's asking for it. Okay. So who do you have desking?
Bill.
I'd throw Sheila on there with him. It'll hurt his ego and make him work faster. Okay, I'll be over here if you need me. And get that yo-yo off the floor. Somebody's gonna break their neck.
Get that goddamn yo-yo off the...
You know what's weird about that last line that I didn't realize until watching it now? He said, "Oh, get Bill off of that, put Sheila on it. That'll
hurt his ego and make him work." Yeah.
Da-da-da-da. Two of the writers on this show were Bill Prady and Sheila Lawrence. I don't know if there's a connection there.
Andy is savage. That's so fucking... Oh my God. She just loves like stirring up shit.
It truly feels like in a post-apocalyptic writer's room. Like this newsroom for the Yale Daily News feels like if Amy went to the nth degree, it might maybe possibly feel like that.
I wish there had been an exchange like, oh, what do you want me to have Daniel do? I'm like, Daniel, he's useless. Get him out of here.
Danny P?
Danny P.
Danny P. Get him out of here.
Oh, perfect. There you go.
Get him out of here.
The voice ramp up that Logan does just before he says "get that yo-yo" feels like he's just going like, anyway, oh, why yo, just you got like
he's always doing that.
Yes.
He's always leaving his yo-yo on the ground.
Yeah,
and he's
like
tripping over like a skateboard.
I told you 10 times about that.
I'm taking it away.
Here's the one thing I will say, and I did officially renounce Team Logan shit, so don't freak out. But here's the one thing I would say about this scene, and what I think is an interesting move, is for Rory's boyfriends, we've never really seen them, like in the most literal sense of the words, work together. So with Dean and Jess, we've seen them in sort of support or lack of support roles for Rory and what she's doing. But this is the first time we've seen like a romantic interest for Rory come alongside her in the work that she's doing. And someone who's like not a dunce, not an idiot, that knows it, even though it's like connections with my dad and blah, 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 da, da, da. Like be that as it may, but someone who's coming alongside her in that and supporting by working together. So I think that's an interesting move. And it's the sort of thing that like, you know, for all the problematic qualities of the Logan character, I think that is an interesting thing to see because we haven't seen it before.
I will say that I was trying very hard to figure out why I would hate the scene where he does eventually save the paper, and I couldn't think of it. Like, I think he's doing a good thing. He's using his influence in a way that helps Rory, and then he sort of caps it off by trying to do the nice thing of having their dinner still. And I truly only hate it because I didn't like Logan already, so... I was like, why do I not, what's happening? What's the cognitive dissonance here? And I couldn't figure it out. I think he's doing a good thing. However, in the scene we just watched, you can see on his face that he almost is like, he realizes the problem and he's scheming to go like, I did it. I know how I'm gonna get back in her life. Like, if you watch his face as he, like literally, as she's talking to him, he just starts like going, I know what I'm gonna do.
I got this shit. I think there's a couple ways to look at that. I think there's that and I'm in, I'm all in. And the second way would be like, and maybe it's less flattering, but of sort of amusement with Rory, like, oh, she's so worked up, poor girl. Like that could be something you could take away from that
is
too.
Not good. He's either condescending to her or trying to manipulate her.
Option number 3 could be
he's high.
Right.
Option number 4 could be that he sees the thing in Rory, you know, maybe this is spinning it out too far, but he sees the thing in Rory that he likes and is attracted to and wants in her that other more, you know, like other women could not provide for him, which is the intellect, the drive, the blah, blah, blah. The thing that the show is constantly selling us, like, Rory's got it. She's the next Christian Amanpour. And I think in this moment, Logan sees the Christian in Rory. Perhaps. Just a theory. How do you see it, Ross?
I see it all that way. I mean, I definitely agree with Kevin.
Kimmy is our celebrity couple name.
I'm thinking about so much. I'll just say this. I agree with both you guys. The thing is with Logan, he just walks into a room and approaches every situation like he just jumped over a Kia Sportage. He's like, yeah, it's pretty cool, huh? Anyway.
Like he's Blake Griffin?
Yeah. That won the dunk competition.
Yes.
But he, I don't know, I'm just not into it. I'm not into his look. I'm not into like him. It's like being at a party. It's like being at a party and trying to have a conversation with someone and they're just like, yeah, and they're just scoping out the room. It's like, I'm flustered. I need your help.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. He has it in the back of his head. Like, I got this. It's gonna be too easy for me. So, you're done? Okay, yeah, let's do this.
Boom, 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 boom.
Let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So I want to play the scene in which he does kind of save the day. Here's what I'm gonna do though, in addition to this scene, is any Good Wife fans out there?
I've seen some hats with numbers on it right now.
Oh yeah. Oh, there were some at the early show as well.
I was not here. I apologize. Go on.
Go on. Another great show. In The Good Wife. R.I.P. Go on.
Yeah, R.I.P. big time.
Brett Gelman did some great work on that show. But in The Good Wife, there is a scene in season 1, I think it's like episode 6 of The Good Wife, that is eerily similar to this scene in Gilmore Girls, where the character that Matt Zuckery is playing kind of saves the day on a last-minute deadline thing, even down to the blocking and weird things. So I cut
leather
them.
Jacket?
What's that?
Is he wearing a leather jacket?
Maybe. We'll find out.
Okay, I have nothing to add to this because I've never watched The Good Wife, so I apologize.
Team Kalinda, is that a person on The Good Wife? Yeah, okay, cool. So I cross come together and see if you agree that they are, I don't think it's plagiarism or like, oh, the Kings ripped off the Paladinas, but it's just weird. Okay, we'll watch it.
Did we verify the Dean of Admissions quote?
Twice. How we doing on time? Bad. More specifically...
10 minutes? Give me a section.
Underline the first part, then bold the last line.
Finish pages, hand him over. Now, you organize. Don't give him to me, hand him to him. Okay,
Here's Francie.
No,
from
no,
season
no.
3,
Too easy it
Francis.
is, okay? And I'm done. Keep typing, Ace.
Why? What's the point?
Type! Shut up.
There.
Shut up. Russell, I'm Logan Huntsberger. Yeah, this is Carrie August. It's Stern Lockhart. Army with Death Row Appeal coming to you. The thing is, we actually sent the issue to you already. Yeah, well, if you don't mind, I'd like to stay on the line and make sure you receive it.
This is crazy.
Damn, Wi-Fi's low. Come on.
Almost there.
Okay, good to know. Thank you very much. All right, great. It's been great speaking with you, too. I'll tell my father. Bye. And that's how we do it at the Daily News!
All right! We got the paper out. That's what I'm talking about, people. Good hustle. Really
Her
good
outfit.
hustle. And they said we couldn't do it, huh? Boy, what a rush, right?
So I'm just saying that when that giant asteroid heads toward Earth, I want you in that fighter jet.
Thanks for the vote of confidence.
You saved my ass.
Infinitely worth saving.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Calm
We
down.
didn't get her dinner.
We didn't. Huh.
When did he get these?
Right.
He ordered them already. He engineered the paper going out late.
I wouldn't put it past him, actually.
This is nice.
That bag is
Boy, when you're
perfect.
on.
Dill pickles. Enjoy with wine.
Milk, no cookies.
It is so.
Isn't that strange? That's weird, right? How close they are.
I wonder if
Very
Zukri said anything like, "Oh, this seems familiar that I've done this before."
I bet.
I wonder during the Good Wife take, he's like, Rory, damn, cut. We got to do it again.
He kept mixing it up. He's all pro.
It's also very funny to see how less impactful it is to just close a flip phone than to like slam it down and just go like, "We did it."
Totally. And that's how we do it at the Daily News. That's fine. I mean, listen,
Yeah.
and the moment at the end, it reminded me of two things. One, any Sports Night fans out there? It reminded me of Jeremy Goodwin getting that dinner for Natalie that's by the office and taking out the wine cups and stuff. Totally remind me of that. And then the second thing it reminded me of is it's like a good version of that shitty date that Zach did for Lane. Where it was just like, where his was out of like a total lack of imagination and Logan's was more of like, it's a necessity and it's a thing where we're still compromising and doing the work, but we're still getting things done at the same time.
And also to give myself some credit, in San Francisco, I was asked what he could do to make me like him. Pretty similar to this. Just do something that's real chill. You don't have to spend money. You just have a nice night with her. You know, like I was like, have a picnic in the park or something, get some drinks.
Yeah.
They just get some shit out of a drawer. It's the same.
I think it's a nice move. I've found, so far in season 6, I find him to be the most likable in this episode.
Yeah, like yes. This
overall in the
this
arc, yeah.
moment is his shining moment, but I feel like it's still bolstered by a lot of other things he's done in the past 3 episodes, which just all come off as manipulative. That this doesn't feel like a victory. It's like like I'll let this slide.
100% agree with that statement.
Which one?
What he said. It's just like you have so much stuff that he's been doing that this little thing doesn't remedy it all. It's not forgiven.
Yeah. Sure.
It's like, oh, okay, and what else? And also, it's like, it just seems so, I don't know, I just don't like the dude. I'm sorry. The character, he's doing a great job as a character and as an actor because he's doing a great job because I don't like him. And he's making me feel a certain way, so.
It is an interesting testament to someone's performance that they can inspire such vitriol and adoration.
And I will say that about April, too. I will say that
I would say that about Ventimiglia.
Yeah.
I say that about Emily. I don't like Emily, but she's fucking incredible.
She's great. She's doing her job.
Guys, she cackles like a witch. I don't think you're supposed to like her. Who here's like, ah, and you're like, oh, like.
Adorable.
You're like, wait, is everything okay? After that, you're like, what was that?
Okay, so the situation at hand is, as we learned in 610, Christopher is now paying for Yale, for Rory. That is the one thing after he came into tens of millions from his grandfather, who is like a rich old dude. And that's the one thing Rory wanted, because she wanted to get out of her grandparents' thumb, which is kind of a D-bag move, whatever. But we can talk about it, because we'll get into it. But so he's paying for Yale. Richard notices the air with the bursar's office, and then he calls them all like, the C word or something. And then he has to send them like scotch. And it is not Rory, who says, oh, by the way, you're not paying anymore. It is Lorelai who is fighting Rory's battles for the first time ever. And let's see her telling the parents.
Hello?
Hi, Dad. It's Lorelai.
Lorelai?
Mom?
Emily?
Richard?
Rowan? Martin?
Lorelai called me, Emily.
She did? What for?
I don't know. She hasn't told me yet.
Lorelai, why did you call your father?
Well, I just wanted to know how he was doing.
I'm doing fine.
Very glad to hear that.
All right. It's good of you to check in.
Goodbye, Lorelai.
Whoa, guys, wait.
Is there more?
More than the nothing there just was? Yes, there's more.
Hurry up, please. I'm meeting Bill Chandler at the club and I'm late.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to tell you that there was no mistake with your Yale check.
There wasn't.
No, they sent you back your check because Yale has already been paid for.
By whom?
By Christopher.
Christopher who?
Christopher Isherwood. That cabaret money was burning a hole in his pocket. And you know what Christopher, Mom? His grandfather passed away recently and left him some money, and he just wanted to do something for Rory. He was trying to be a dad for once. I thought it seemed like a good idea. Hello? Guys, are you there?
I'm here, Lorelai. Your mother had to go.
Oh, Dad, please don't read too much into this. I mean, when was the last time Christopher wanted to do anything for Rory? He wants to contribute. This is a good thing. This is not a snub, Dad, I swear. Rory and I are so grateful for everything you and Mom have done, all the help you've given her. I mean, she would not be in Yale right now if it weren't for you, and she would never have gone to Chilton. She would have graduated Stars Hollow High and then gone to community college and then beauty school.
I have to go, Lorelai.
Dad.
I appreciate the phone call. I simply wish it had come before I called every person in the bursar's office a moron.
Well, if it'll make you feel any better, odds are at least 2 of them truly deserved it.
It did make him feel better.
Yeah.
That's good.
Even though I don't think I'm on Richard's side in the argument of whether or not it was bad for Christopher to pay, I do feel bad for him in this scene. It does feel like his face work is excellent, but it's also just...
His face work is excellent, I agree.
Technical.
He just looks so sad, and it's heartbreaking just knowing that he... I think because they believe very much so in the Logan way, that the way to provide and love for someone is to pay for their things.
The Logan way?
The Logan way. It's like, you can tell I love you because I bought you things.
It sounds like a cult.
It might as well be. If you like Logan, I feel like you've been indoctrinated into something bad.
I think it's the 5th love language.
This is very funny because I very much say that I think no one's truly wrong and I don't care what anyone thinks, but I do, for some reason, be like, Logan's not, no, you're wrong. Anyway, it's just, that's how that culture works. Rich people in this show and in real life, I guess, think that spending money is their way of going like, I care about you and this is like a dollar amount to prove it.
Yeah, and to consider the fact, and this is sort of cyclical with the pilot, is the point of reconnection for Emily and Richard to Lorelai and her present day life was them paying for Yale, and paying for Chilton in the early days, and then the Friday night dinner contract, which is what it all comes down to. Like, it's not, I don't think it is the Logan way, because for Richard and Emily, it's just like they'll take any foothold they can get after they've totally alienated their daughter and miscommunicated with her and not loved her the right way. But to them, love equals money, I think in a way that's different for Logan. Love equals money to Richard and Emily because that is the area in which they can have communication with Lorelai, not the only way they know how to show it. You know what I mean? It's one of the only ways they know how to show it because they are limited in that capacity. But I think it's this. I think it's the same way with Logan because I think they both have problems showing emotion otherwise. They don't say I love you until it's they both admit to having problems saying I love you. And they're just like, well, I can prove that I love you because I just bought you all these flowers. I sent a coffee cart to you. I'm paying for your school. But they won't just, they don't say I love you when it's truly the only thing they need.
Right.
Do you think Rory wanted to hurt Emily and Richard?
No. I think she didn't. I don't think she gave a damn. She wasn't actively this is going to piss them off. But she was I'm so mad at them. I do want to leave.
I do think she wanted to hurt them a little bit for the way they hurt her, and controlled her and kept her under their rule.
Yeah,
for that time.
I think she saw an opportunity where it's I can get out under their thumb.
Yeah.
And I have someone else paying, so I'm going to do it. And then maybe in the back of her mind, she was thinking, yeah, you guys made me mad, and this is how I'm going to get back to you. But I don't think it was an actual the reason why she said yes to it.
It is an interesting thing, too, in this episode that Lorelai's the one encouraging connection on Rory's part. She's like, oh, if I didn't go to that dinner, then things might have turned out differently, but it doesn't have to be that way for you. Like, she gives that kind of pep talk, like, you should reach out, come to the dinner, blah, 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 which is a very interesting position for her to be preaching from after so many years and seasons of, like, coldness and sort of distance from her own parents, which leads us to...
Can I just interject? I'm
yes.
so sorry. What was she eating?
You know, syrup.
And everyone was thinking it.
Okay, let me put it back on the screen for just a second.
And this is for the people that missed it. This is for the people that missed it, because everyone knows what she's eating.
Okay.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So it looks like...
Just a sad phone call meal.
Using classic Martin's chocolate syrup, she's eating a bag of marshmallows covered in chocolate syrup on a sad
She's
plate.
making lazy s'mores. She was like, I don't want...
It's room temperature s'mores.
There's no cracker.
She's like, I don't want the kind of healthy part of it. No, thank you.
And also, put it in a bowl.
Yes!
Put it in a bowl.
Put it in a bowl. Mel,
you don't steal a yacht.
Don't steal a yacht.
Oh, thank you for bringing that to our attention.
Sorry.
That would be a part of our segment where you feed, I will swallow. If we still did
I'm
that.
surprised. Oh, that's right. You guys did do that. Yeah.
Yeah, we kind of discontinued that, unfortunately.
There's
it's
so
like,
much that you have to talk about.
Yeah, they ate a lot of garbage, shitty food in this one. Again, folks, the Friday night dinner. It happens. It occurs. It is the whole entirety of the last act of the show, which again, we were talking about, oh, maybe it would have been nice to have that be the whole episode in general. And they could have pasted and done, you know, those things, the ups and downs and highs and lows. Instead of doing the cross-cutting that they do, they could have actually played that out in the 42 minutes of semi-real time. But they decided to do it a different way, in a cinematic departure for this show. This episode
I had to do a double take.
Yeah.
I had to watch it a few times because it was. I don't think have they done this?
No.
That's why I had to do a double take.
There's a very specific. Okay, so this was written by Amy Sherman-Palladino. This was directed by High School Music fame Kenny Ortega.
Kenny Ortega, Newsies, Hocus Pocus.
Hit him with the hat trick. Another one.
Footloose. Also, he
remake.
directed.
Yeah.
All right, one more. No, I'm kidding.
And then Michael Jackson, his last tour. He did all the choreography.
This is it.
This is it. And this is it. That's all I know.
So he directed this episode, and this is the most like stylistically ambitious episode, I think, maybe ever that the show's done, but definitely the most that wasn't directed by one of the Palladinos themselves. And I think they had a very specific vision and a thing they were going for in mind. So I'm going to play just about all of this scene. Would that be cool?
I mean, you have to.
I think we have to get it all, and there's so much to talk about. I think this might be the last clip we play, but this is gonna be it. So we'll pick up midway through the act. This is the Friday night dinner fight. ASP! Wow. You guys exhausted? You just watched a 6-minute clip. So, a little...
We did.
It didn't feel like it. It flew by.
Flew by.
Some of these clips drag.
So kinetic. It's just so fun to watch.
So fun to watch. Okay, so a little bit of background that might help explain this particular choice. Gilmore Girls is not a show that ever goes handheld, unless they're doing a parody of Dig, like they did the documentary in 610. That was the only other time they've really gone handheld for anything. And in interviews concerning this episode, Amy Sherman-Palladino cites there is a movie Woody Allen made in 1992 called Husbands and Wives. It's Woody Allen, Mia Farrow, Judy Davis. Oh, Husbands and Wives, gonna get
Woody Allen.
I'm just, these are just the facts. The movie is kind of done in a mock doc style where they do interviews and it's like they're real people and it's like documentary footage. Very handheld, very raw, kind of like that. So she said she constructed this scene stylistically to be an homage to that scene in Husbands and Wives. There's a sort of like quick cutting, jump cut scene of Woody Allen and Mia Farrow arguing like at different points in the night where they're like They get mad, they get a little sadder, they get quieter, they get louder, and it's kind of done in that same style where it's quick cuts like that, and it's the handheld documentary style. So that was the reason and rationale, because I know a lot of people found it puzzling that they did it in this episode, but according to Amy, that's why they did it, and they did it as an homage to that particular movie. That being said, did it work?
I mean, I don't know how it works as an homage. I haven't seen the original, but
I was about to say the same thing.
I truly believe that this is the best scene in the entire series so far.
Agreed.
However,
agreed.
It's so weird that I think this is the best series because I think it's useless in terms of the show.
It is. Well, it's a circle.
It's a circle. It changes nothing. And I think the last shot almost ruins it for me. Like when they come out and they're just like, Friday night dinners are back. I was like, no, go sad.
Yeah.
Make it stick. Show us that this is something to be reckoned with and not
everyone
just a
on
cool
that
choice.
couch. Yeah, everyone on that couch.
Yeah.
Fade to black, ASP.
Or I don't know. Just show someone crying. Show anything that shows us that this is something we're going to have to deal with and not just a joke of like, the Gilmore Girls are back.
Yeah, because it does kind of, and there are like weird kind of cyclical moments where they refer to moments in the past, whereas it's Emily talking about in 605 when she fat shamed Shira Huntsberger and talked about this and that, and Richard's real proud of her for doing that.
That was funny, but how did that C-word joke get to the final edit on the seat, like on the
I don't know,
WB?
but I'm very happy it did.
It's a great, it's funny.
Cocktail waitress does start with a C.
It does.
And the way the way freaking Bishop hit it, cocktail waitress, was just like juicy and delicious. It was so good. And
Lorelai, the reaction, she's like, that's my mom's version of the C word. I've never seen her do that.
It was so good.
I was gonna say I also love Lorelai's reaction when she says she has a kid. She hits the like Zoolander like he has a kid. Like if you watch it again. Yeah. Anyway,
a little bit of Blue Seal. And then the other thing that was really interesting in the last dialogue before they go out and it's Friday night dinners are back on again, it's Emily and Lorelai yelling in the other room, and Emily says, when you get pregnant, you get married. A child needs a mother and a father. It's an exact quote from the very first episode of the series. Emily says those exact same words in the pilot of the show. So in a way, and we've talked about this before, like Rishi, our great friend Rishi Hirway, who did 609, he says for him, Gilmore ends at 609 when Luke finds out he had a kid. And the show does not end for me in this episode, but in a way, 613 is sort of the spiritual, emotional finale for me, especially with the way that season 6 ends, and there's cliffhangers, and there's drama, blah, blah, blah. But this is like, these are the core relationships I care about. This is what I care about. I care about those 4 people in that room the most, more than anyone else on the show. And to see them go at it and do the 5 rounds and end up not progressing, but in the exact same spot that they started, I think is weirdly satisfying on some level. And the craft with which they did it, it was so funny. Those lines are so funny. Oh, it was a very good sorbet. Oh, yes, I agree. Bah, 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 da, da, da. Like, they just hit everything and did it so freaking well in this scene.
Yeah.
It reminds me of a lot of...
Yeah.
Thank you, Ross.
Oh, man, this show is so funny.
I'm sorry.
One of Ross's classic characters.
And fun to watch. It just feels like a lot of classic scenes from other shows. Like in It's Always Sunny, whenever they play Char D. McDennis, they cut it in a way that you can't tell what's happening, but you're loving every minute of it. Or True American on New Girl. Or the drug trip at the end of first season of BoJack Horseman. It's like all of these scenes where you're like, holy shit, of course I remember that. That was so beautiful to watch. And you think about it and you're like, it's not really anything. It's just... It sets up a very important thing, but it itself is useless, and that's fine. It's like a fun stage play. From the moment that Lorelai does that thing where they're all
that blocking where they're like,
that was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was like
arms crossed.
Yes.
Yeah.
I truly was like, oh my god, I think I want to see a stage version of like this episode. And it's so funny to me that season 6 is seen by some as like the worst, or like by some as like the second worst, because it has the most impact on everything I've known about Gilmore Girls. Like, this scene is incredible, and it's like genuinely like the best thing I've seen in so long. And also the June 3rd stuff, the stuff with Luke and Lorelai's wedding. Like, this season makes what I knew about Gilmore Girls before watching the show. And everyone hates, not everyone, but like no one thinks it's the best season. And that's so curious to me.
Well, I think that might have to do as the series progresses too, because we still got 9 episodes to go in season 6. And
they have to be very bad for me to not think of this as like a pretty stellar season. We'll get to it. Anyway, it's just so I loved this, and the first thing that they do, where they do the camera moving around, feels like another show.
Yeah.
A very specific other
Felt
show.
like a movie, actually.
It felt like
that spin. It felt like a movie. Like it was very cinematic. It was very, very other.
Do you want to go ahead and roll the clip? That
sure. Give me a second
to show
pull
you
it
what
out.
show I was talking about. I prepared a clip because minimal editing, and I think it pretty succinctly explains why. This is not a Gilmore Girls episode at all. They shouldn't have got the last scene, but I'm glad they didn't.
Give me a second.
Okay.
Keep vamping, Phil. For
I
time.
can't
Give
keep
me-
vamping.
I will say this scene didn't push anything forward. It was very cyclical. Thank you, cyclical. Thank you so much. But I did like it a lot because it had to happen. The fight had to happen. Everything had to get put out there. Everything had to be
It's a
said.
volcano exploding.
Yeah, everything had to be said, and I could just imagine like the alternate jokes for the fighting, and then going back to, just general talking. Also, Edward Herrmann, he is
so funny and
so
good.
Such a comic.
I don't remember that.
So good. And being like a bigger dude and acting, he is the mountaintop for me. He was great. Have you guys seen Lost Boys?
All I've
so
seen of
good.
Lost Boys is what I caught at a bar once that they were showing, and I saw him turn into a vampire or something.
Yeah, he's so good.
Yeah.
That's a movie about vampires?
Lost Boys?
I thought it was just about a bunch of lost boys.
No, you're thinking of Stand By Me, which is not a movie about standing by people.
Ooh. Yeah, I don't think this clip's gonna work, buddy. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Anyway,
What was it?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I don't want to reveal now. I can't act it out. It's very Modern Family, so I just cut it into the opening of Modern Family. Yes, that's the correct reaction, but if you saw it, ooh, boy.
It would have been louder.
Nah, it's my fault.
That would have been
The
cool
wrong
to
codec.
see. Well, I'll just reboot everything real quick. Can you give us 20 minutes?
No,
Okay.
no. But I love this. This is also the first time in a long time where I'm so mad that everyone isn't on Lorelai's side, because I think she's the only one with like a
She's totally
voice
right.
of reason.
No, Richard saying I don't remember that.
I was
bullshit.
I almost yelled. I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Yeah.
Like it's the only thing she's had to stand on for literally like a season and a half now, and he's like, "What? What are you talking about?" And I'm just like, "You are lying." Like I don't think he's lying in this moment. I truly think he doesn't remember, but it's crazy. I'm just like, I was mad, and I felt like she got her redemption. Like I saw her floating when she finally gets to act out word for word.
Oh my gosh. He what?
Yeah.
Was that a joke that she made in the middle of a dramatic context that made you kind of upset?
No, that was the proper way to do it, where it's like, I can be jokey because you're fucking, like, this is insane to me. It's like, like, it's not her crying. It's not
like
something
punchy.
It's not something sad happening to her. It's a victorious moment.
Yeah, it's like when you're on a roll, when you're arguing with someone and you're on a roll, and you're like, I'm just gonna say everything. I'm gonna say what you're saying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a classic Gilmore
We all
rant,
fight like that.
But
I wish we all fought that funny, but we don't.
no.
Most of the time, I'm just mumbling and calling people Kimmy and just yelling at people.
Hey, shut up, Kimmy.
Kimmy.
Oh boy. So I mean, it does function. I mean, like I said, it's kind of the spiritual, and there are pleasures to be had in the rest of the season. Maybe in season 7, I don't know. But to me, if the show got canceled tomorrow after this episode aired, I'd be like, that was a great show. You know, I mean, I know Final 4 words, Luke Lorelai wedding, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I would have been totally.
The final 4 words would have been "Night dinners are back," which sounds like a slogan for a company called Night Dinners.
Night dinners are back. Oh.
It's a guy on a horse all night.
Night dinners are back.
Well, let me lance that steak.
I mean, one of the big standouts from that scene at the beginning and end was the scarf that Rory was wearing.
Before you transition.
That Rory was wearing?
Emily says when I was in cahoots with him, I was a villain, and now that you're in cahoots with him, it's fine. Yes. When she was in cahoots with him, she was trying to break up a love, and when he's in cahoots, they're paying for college. Like, fuck you, Emily. I'm sorry, but I'm sorry, Emily is a villain. I'm done with people trying to convince me that she's good. She's not. You love her because she's a good actress, but she's a villain. No, I love Kelly Bishop. Kelly Bishop, all of my heart for her. But Emily is a villain. She's not doing this out of love. She's doing it out of like a how dare you mentality. I don't care if the audience agrees with me. I'm so confident about this. Like, it's frustrating to watch.
Do you see Emily as a villain, Russ?
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
She's a villain.
Absolutely.
Maybe at this, it just feels like people are like, oh, just wait. And it's like, I can't keep waiting. It's been 6 seasons of her doing things out of spite, not telling her daughter she loves her, getting mad when people don't fall into line with her ideas, turning on switches in people's exes to ruin current relationships. How can you stand by these things?
It's her way, and she won't bend. And she doesn't see it any other way.
No.
Any other way. And calling Rory spoiled, it's like, wait, how can you say that?
You
like,
spoiled her.
She's the one that
spoiled her.
Right.
You spoiled that woman.
Are you okay?
No.
You crushed that girl.
You crushed that girl.
Demi, put me down.
I mean, I might feel a little differently. I don't know. I see both sides to it. I see both sides to it. I understand, but that's why I think it's the genius of the show. Is she is the villain and the kind of tragic matriarch at the same time. But again, the way that Jess is the punk-ass little punk and the dreamboat Oliver Twist of your dreams, in the same way Logan is the douche nozzle of the century and the guy you want to pay for your furniture in college one day. And the way that Dean is grocery clerk. Sorry, couldn't pull it out with that one.
You need help lifting that, Rory?
Lorelai, do you need your water tank changed again?
The way Dean's a good surprise kisser.
Oh, thank you. That's right. That was kiss and tell?
Yeah, he kisses her.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
It's a pretty good surprise kisser. I mean, what else do we want to cover in this episode? We could talk about...
Can I talk about something? Maybe we're getting to it.
Yeah.
It's not fashion, but Emily, even though not a fan of her, how great is that painting?
Yeah, whoa! She has a secret talent that they don't...
Where is this coming from?
It's as if we were to come in and she was like juggling on a unicycle. She's like, just 1 second. Like, where did this come from?
1 second, and they're on fire.
Did she have some sort of eat, pray, love or something? Because she looks like Diane Keaton. She's out painting on the terrace.
Maybe that's the only thing she did ever since Rory went away.
She's like, I'm going to Tuscany.
Wow.
I'm going to have a wonderful summer.
I wish. I mean, yeah, it was pretty flawless. Should have did a screen
Was it for
cap of that.
competition, or was it just for... Oh, yes. Why did everyone get mad at me? I just had a simple question.
You fucking fool. We watched the same episode.
You should have watched this 18 times.
How many times did you watch this to prepare for this, by the way?
4 times.
4 times.
I watched the dinner 6 times.
Because Ross does his homework.
I immediately
Baby.
rewound the dinner scene.
Oh, man, we could talk about that insane scene of the whole town looking in at April.
Just get blinds, man.
Yes.
Get blinds for that window.
So, it seems like a pretty simple solution, right? There's a window going from Luke's to Taylor's. Get some curtains, get some blinds.
Was there a reason he couldn't just take the window out and like put up a wall? I think there was before. It doesn't matter now, but
there was an ordinance
or something. It's just it's crazy that he doesn't do anything.
It's very quick though, like this show. It's like it's because of this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, whatever.
Like, no one fights it.
It was an interesting scene too because it starred this was a weird, interesting townie cameo from the meth head in Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Oh
The ATM, I ain't no skank. That girl, she was the one that's like, we need a table
roofie.
too. You can't cut. Because Babette legitimately does treat Lorelai like the queen of the town, gets to the front of the hot chocolate line. And it is such a bummer to watch that scene of everyone staring in and slowly like looking in on Luke and April. No one else in Luke's diner for some reason.
Yeah, I was confused by that. Is there a reason, should we know why Lorelai's even in the soda shop or whatever?
I guess having it.
I think she saw the line. I'll finish your sentence. She saw the line, and she was like, "Oh, what's going on here?" And she just popped in for the candy shop, and then people were like, "Are you cutting for free samples?" It's like,
yeah, it's weird.
I wanted Meth Head to like kiss her fingers and then push Lorelai over.
No cuts.
I think she was just poking her head in because she saw the long line.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but Babette and Miss Patty, like April and Luke are a subject of fascination for them, not a subject of, oh, this is probably heartbreaking for you on some level, huh, Lorelai? Like to them, they really aren't clued into the idea of like, oh, this is sort of devastating in a way. They're just kind of like, oh, she's cute, she reads, oh my gosh.
It was more like, hey, Luke's got a daughter. She can read. That was said like 4 times.
Ain't that something? Yeah.
Ain't that something?
And the blocking again was very, again, like a play, very 2D. The way everyone like gathered around that same window, and they're
When
like,
they show the wide, and it shows how packed in they are. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that shot just to show it was almost like an aquarium, you know?
Yeah.
There's an aquarium full of townies.
Why? Sorry. Why? If it feels like the diner is closed, which if it's not, I have other questions. But if it is closed, why is Luke like, here, let's do your homework down in the diner, as opposed to the apartment he lives in upstairs? Anyway.
Maybe it's a power move, and he wanted the town to see April.
My daughter can read.
And she's not going anywhere.
Your kid read?
I like to see you read, Kirk.
And Kirk drops his head. Charlie Brown walks away.
Yeah.
He runs away and cries. Lulu's teaching me.
Does Luke's Diner have hours? Because he's the proprietor.
Definitely.
He can do whatever he wants.
In a small town, it's pretty much like, hey, just if I'm not here, it's closed, and if I am, it is. Because he closes on a whim, too.
If he's got to go to the dentist or something back at 3.
Definitely.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I don't think Luke's going to the dentist that much.
614.
He's got perfect teeth.
Should we get into the fashion report?
Let's do it.
Please.
Fashion. Oh, come on. Ross knows. Ross knows. All right.
A lot of car rides with these guys.
Okay.
All right?
Oh, that's very sweet. So we'll talk about this because...
This bothered everyone, right? Okay.
Okay, because in addition to the detective thing, we need to talk about this little guy right here.
She stole it from a Ross Dress for Less.
But here's the thing. This is Suki in the flower mart for the listener at home, by the way. Here's the thing. Lorelai needs one too.
Whoa.
So
maybe it was like a weird sticker they had that proves they paid to get admission to the flower market.
Is the flower market like
it's
a
CGI.
club?
It's CGI. You guys all know it's a flower.
This is the part
CGI
they forgot
flower.
to key out. They were gonna put a brooch on her.
Right.
They were gonna put a CGI brooch that reflects her mood and her sad face.
CGI mood ring.
Here's my question, just in this scene in general. Why does Lorelai not call Suki to tell her, hey, don't need flowers, the wedding's postponed?
Maybe she wanted to do it face to face so she could have that power moment where it's like, actually, Suki, you're a bad person.
It's so
The
weird.
wedding's off.
It's so weird. Like, if she wants to do it face to face just for real, if she does this, like, this is something I should break to her, it feels like she shouldn't waste her and Suki's time by waking up very early to go to a flower mart. Anyway.
That's an excellent point.
Yeah.
For another show.
Also,
Suki looks like Titus Burgess's character in... Not only in Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, but...
in 30 Rock for Queen of Jordan,
Yes, he looks like Queen of Jordan. Ham.
Oh, that's too true.
Lorelai's hat, for being fun and wild and crazy, that's like a mood hat. That tells you like what kind of mood she's in. Because usually she's wearing kind of fun stuff, right?
Usually.
Looks like she just walked off a boat.
Well, maybe Lorelai's
off
feeling
the
a
boat.
little bit blue nowadays at the wedding.
Can you go to the reverse again?
Sure.
It looks like Jason Mewes in Clerks with the beanie and the long hair.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, this is Jason Mewes?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, sorry, I should have shifted your focus off of good mighty boss tones lady over here.
Oh, man. Speaking of fun and lovely scarves, this is Lorelai and Rory.
That is so crazy, guys.
I mean, the rainbows.
It looks like a broadcast test pattern. Like
And what in the blue blazes is on Lorelai's shirt right here?
There's a devil riding a seahorse.
It looks like the dragon from Mulan.
Oh, there is. Oh, actually, I have a better screen cap of that. So this is the shirt.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, devil riding a seahorse. Yeah.
But with it's almost like a proto Ed Hardy.
It looks like someone just overlaid a bunch of clip art.
This was in the clearance.
Yeah,
in
we
like
got
a
the
screen print.
angel right here, see, blowing his horn, and then a crown.
With like is that a skull wearing the crown? What the hell is this?
Okay, here's what it is. This is her perfect little angel, Rory, blowing off Queen Bishop and Edward Herman, who's passed away. What's that?
Lorelai bedazzled on the left there, on the left.
Oh, is this what is that?
That's her. That's Lorelai.
Oh.
Championing for
and
her
then the
daughter.
sleeves are the townies because they add such local color to all the amusements.
Purple. Oh, never mind.
I think this is the season 1 poster, by the way.
Yeah.
It is.
In the
my
background.
God.
Yeah.
Then you got a nice chicken over there.
Also, I had a
Oh, you do. Nice chicken.
nice little chicken. I had an issue when Lorelai walked in at Yale and she's like, I thought we were dressing crazy. And she's like, oh, no, we're not dressing crazy. And it's like, well, I dress crazy. That's not, I'm sorry. Is that crazy? That's not really crazy. If she was wearing like a Mussolini hat and a Wayne Gretzky jersey, that would be crazy. But this is like, I think that looks good. Is that weird?
This is tame for Lorelai.
Yeah, it's very tame.
I think this might be crazy for Amy Sherman-Palladino to wear a color at all.
Yeah, to wear
A
colors.
person that wears top hats everywhere?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
but they're all black. It's all
That's
black
true.
all the
This is
time.
true.
It's a very muted palette.
Caught me.
And then we can talk about Barton Fink from the
Best boy.
newsroom.
Okay, so
What's the character's name again?
Bill?
Bill. His name is Bill.
Oh, he's Bill Prady.
Now, we made a lot of what to do about Michelle not being black or whatever. This is the blackest character in this entire series. Let me explain. Because he looks like the midway point between Steve Urkel and Stefan Urkel, but the white version. And he dresses like Theo from The Cosby Show.
Theo!
Wow.
I love it. And his hair looks like Mini Mugatu.
Also, every time he's on screen, he's wearing a vest.
He is.
It's his trademark
Also,
thing.
I really want to see his hair relaxed. I want to see that just
Relaxed?
all out there.
I think he cuts it with a lawnmower. This is hashtag squad goals.
Oh, the Cheetah Girls.
Babette, Miss Patty, and Lorelai.
Glass full of red vines.
I just realized.
Those are straws. I'm sorry. Those aren't licorice. Those aren't licorice.
Those aren't just free red vines.
That'd be a great candy shop.
I just realized I thought Babette was just wearing a jacket that looked like Luke's, but it's actually more like a robe, or it has a little waistband to it.
Yeah.
She looks like a warlock.
Oh, yeah. She looks like a warlock.
Yeah. And then Miss Patty killing it as always in a cheetah print.
Crushing it with that print.
How, like...
She's just doing her.
Oh, here's a good Demi question. If Miss Patty and Babette taught classes at Hogwarts, what would they be?
They teach potions, but only potions that are like to get like
sex.
Yeah, like sexually. But it's not like an evil thing. It's like consensually sexy potions, like aphrodisiacs. That's what they teach.
Okay, that's good. That's good. And then this is that same scene, but just with everyone crowded around.
It's great.
Ain't no skank, the sadness. Megan Fox?
Megan?
No, she looks like Don Draper's wife.
Wait, Tom Brady to the left?
Yeah,
Is that Tom
everyone's here.
Wow, Tom Brady!
Whoa, what's his name? Charlie Murphy in the back. In the right hair. Whoa,
David Caruso?
No, that's Sting.
Young Jack Nicholas on the right with the hat, with the Navy hat?
It's me, Jack
They
Nicholson.
blew their budget for one
Nicholson,
scene.
not
They like
the
get all
golfer,
the
I'm sorry.
famous people.
Wait, I want to... Guys, I want to know what these two are up to. What is going on?
We know she can read. Relax.
This guy's just had it with all of the white people's shit. He's just like, he's like, what do you guys want? Another white girl, God. He's so done with this town, and I'm on his side. No, I'm kidding. I love this town.
Kirk is looking great. Also, he's on his way to Disneyland.
Yes, he is. Where he works, not
where he works,
He
not
could
to play.
totally be a cast member at Disneyland.
He'd be great running the trolley.
You know what's one of the best things about the show Gilmore Girls is the way in the town of Stars Hollow that they build a sense of community.
Who's this?
This is
Danny Pudi.
Danny Pudi, who of course played the beloved Abed in Community.
Also, he's from...
Oh,
This is
hell
correct.
yeah. That's why we did this episode here.
Did 7 Second City.
For the one
Good
line
guy.
of his.
We knew it. Yeah, so this, I think he's on one more episode of this show.
Really?
Yeah.
This feels like a role that wouldn't come back. That's so weird.
Oh, he becomes a big part of season 7, I hear.
He's Rory's next boyfriend.
Yeah, but I'd wear that. That would be good, actually. That'd be really good. I'm still pitching Michael B. Jordan for the Netflix.
Well, yeah.
revival.
That
would be amazing.
Michael B. Jordan is everyone's boyfriend.
He's my boyfriend.
Abed would be a good boyfriend for Rory that Lorelai would approve of because they could talk movies and he doesn't have emotions to deal with.
Oh, that's true.
Anyway.
Also, fashion-wise, this sweater looks awesome.
Yeah, I would wear that sweater.
Fits him well.
Yeah, I like the Dracula collar going on at top.
Love it.
Cool. Okay, this is Lorelai being told by Luke, yeah, you're cool with the postponing, right? You're totally cool with it. And she's like, I guess so. This is why I don't like this story. It's because what it does, it kind of beats down Lorelai emotionally, and Luke puts her in a place that's really tough. Or I think the conversation at hand is, and then they start staring at us, but you get it. You get why we need time. And she becomes this quiet, silent partner who does not express what she's feeling, which is so interesting for someone who likes to express what she's feeling all the damn time. So it's really sad to see that. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, Luke has one foot perpetually lodged in his mouth anytime he talks to Lorelai, where he thinks he's trying to do something good and just talk his way out of a problem. But it's like, you are definitely addressing the one thing she has an issue with, but you're on the other side of it, you fool.
Does she have a screen printing machine at her house?
She must.
Strictly for dogs.
And crowns.
Yes,
throw a crown on that thing. Let's do it.
Oh boy. And then, what can we say about the Friday night dinner scarf? What does this mean?
Has anyone read Eric Carle, The Hungry Caterpillar? That is an Eric Carle scarf.
It could mean so many things, right?
It looks like a bunch of deviled eggs that someone colored red for some reason.
Yeah. It looks like googly eyes, but 3 of them. But again, it doesn't seem to be functional as a scarf.
Okay, this is a deep cut, but have you guys ever gotten your eyes checked and then they show you the backs of your eyes?
Oh, yeah.
That's that scarf. Another joke.
It's like a living photo red eye scarf. Also in this is the scene where Lorelai, and then the little cow herder is blah, 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 blah. She's telling a story to get
I
Rory
hated
relaxed. I thought that was great.
I hated it so
I loved
much.
it.
It was a little long,
too long.
but it was a little long, yeah.
No, but I think that was the point. Is they were stalling, they were delaying. But then she refers to the fountain as semi-pornographic.
When we get to see the back of it, but you don't really. Do we ever get to see it in this episode, or the front of it?
Well, actually, I took a set visit recently,
When?
and it has a huge. No, it doesn't. Really.
Talk about the fountain. Also, I'm on a tangent here, but I never understood why she had a light brown Jeep. Why wasn't it like blue or like something cool? I don't know.
Maybe it was the car
don't
that
know.
she could afford at the time, and she kept it as a symbol of
Got
her.
it. Someone's clapping for
Pulling
that.
herself up by her bootstraps and her independence.
Oh, that makes so much sense. Moving on.
Or
Thank
whatever.
you.
Or
No, that
sloppy
makes-
production design.
No, makes perfect sense.
And then we can talk about, Rory's scarf makes an appearance once again. And we got Barton Fink, and then Paris's little top right here. The blue sweater.
Back to
thing.
Rory's scarf one more time.
Okay.
Yeah.
It reminds me of when you get like when you bleed on something, and it's just like the first stage is when it just hit the paper, and the last one is like, are you for like that's when
it's
the
like
band-
getting a blood test.
Yeah. No. Yes.
But like losing
Okay.
a lot of blood, and that's what you have.
Yeah, or like
Oh.
a
ton of blood.
period, like 3 stages of a period.
Demi.
Oh, don't say that.
That's
Most
gross,
of the
Demi.
audience has had a period. Why is that? It's like if I were
Too far.
too far.
This is Chicago.
Too far.
Come on.
I will bet $1,000 that over half of this audience. Never mind. Never mind. I'm done. Ugh. Yeah, Paris's shirt is cool. Next slide.
Okay, we're done.
Well, I will say this: every time I see Paris on screen, in the back of my head, I say she has the most perfect skin.
Yes.
She
It's
does.
incredible.
She
As some
moisturizes.
Incredible.
As 2 men who have been delighted by the presence of Miss Weil,
Still?
up close and personal, I would say she has amazing skin.
Oh, jealous.
Can I just say that for this scene,
This is the scene we're showing Paris in her Yellow King True Detective
Yeah.
bunker.
I wish there was red string, but I just feel like this scene was Emmy nomination at least worthy. Just the subtle movements in which she shakes and you can tell she's like going to break down, but it's like she won't because it's Rory. She can't break down in front of Rory. Like she can't break down when it's very well done. One
loved
person
it.
said no, fuck whoever that was. But, I
A
loved it so
subtitle
much.
for our podcast. I think that's been the fashion report.
Yeah.
Think so.
All of Chicago just joined us on that.
That is a very nice groove to get in while all 3 people on stage and the whole room is doing fa. Guys, we did that because we were like, oh, we'll record the jingle later. And here we are, and it's 600 people doing it along with us. That's a fun thing. That's a
Who
cool thing.
does that in their car or in their room? Look at that.
Wow!
That came from your brains. Isn't that insane?
I didn't see anyone in the upper balcony raise their hands. That's fair. Oh, I see some. I see you. I see you.
The people in the upper balcony don't seem to give a damn about us.
You start doing that?
Oh, boy. Folks, I think it's time we go back in the time machine once again.
That's the sound I make whenever you say that on the podcast.
It's the dial-up sound. That's the time machine.
And go to
It's a thing we...
It's okay. To the Television Without Pity boards.
Oh, careful. You okay?
I'm great.
Let me pick you up.
What happened?
I don't know. I just dropped my microphone, but at home it's like, Timmy died. Timmy got shot. Someone
Hold on, let me
finally
do
had him.
CPR.
That guy who disagreed with you about Paris shot you.
Honestly, I don't blame him. I will die for my queen.
Television Without Pity, TWAP for short, for a little segment we call...
When the pimp's in the crib, mom.
Twop it like it's hot.
Twop it like it's hot.
Twop it like it's
hot.
That felt good, didn't it? That felt good. This is funny, this is true, and this was not me. Someone named Gilmore Guy in Television Without Pity in the year 2006 wrote, I'll never complain about this show again. That was excellent. So there we go, some positivity. A lot of these have been negative.
In the very next episode, he just deleted his account. He's like, I made a
I can't
promise.
find him after that.
Oh boy, KB and Fox said, and from a purely aesthetic perspective, Logan's hair is a lot better these days. More Hugh Grant and less boy band. All right. Angie Pang says, man, I can't believe I missed American Idol for this crap. At least I'm not the only one who wasn't pleased with this episode, because it was a little bit divisive. People were like, I don't like the shaky cameras. Some people were like, I loved it. It's the best thing they've ever done. It's a stylistic. That's the thing I do like about it, is that it's kind of a risk. It's a cinematic risk on a show that doesn't take a lot of cinematic risk beyond its own native language of doing long takes and doing the long Steadicam shots throughout the town. And those are really hard to do, but it's not something you notice. But this was a very bold, noticeable choice, and I think it did pay off.
Yeah. Also, I love when you do this, because hearing time capsule sentences make me laugh so hard.
Yeah.
Like American Idol, like just carbon dating things by just saying this.
Also, what a position to take. Like, American Idol's the one that I would have preferred to watch. So I don't...
But this is before DVR, right? 2006, you can't really do that at that point.
Here's the rise of TiVo.
Well, we gotta
TiVo.
be out of here by 10 o'clock because
sorry.
there is an American Idol podcast happening at 11 that sold as many tickets.
Idolators.
Lamore says, and it's not me, but he says, or she says, Logan totally owned this episode. He's so back in my good books. I'm an easily charmed girl, I guess. But really, I like how their relationship has new life breathed into it. It's good to see them start again. Luke and Lorelai totally need to have a Friday night dinner smackdown of their own. Well, that is an interesting perspective, because Luke and Lorelai are not communicating well. And this is a moment in the show where, even though they didn't really get anywhere, Emily, Richard, Rory, Lorelai got all their cards out on the table, and Luke and Lorelai are still playing a very close to the vest poker game for no reason. People who should be soulmates and doing life together in a partnership are playing their cards so close to the vest, and that's so frustrating to watch.
You gotta talk.
It's also frustrating because if they did a Friday night dinner, I wouldn't feel good if Luke ever yelled at her for anything, because she hasn't done anything wrong. It would just be Lorelai complaining and then Luke going, I'm sorry, and then they pan back like he doesn't have a foot to stand on here.
Can you imagine Luke at that dinner?
I wish he was at that dinner. I really do.
In my mind, when I watched it the fourth time, Luke was the POV. He was the one that going.
Oh, he was the one looking at her.
He was like, wait, what?
And then it was too much, so we left.
Okay.
It would be funny if they did those scenes exactly how they did them, but Luke was just in every shot and silent and just like...
Or just trying to be like, oh, the food tastes excellent. Shut up, Luke. Anyway.
Oh, boy.
I was given 2 knives. Shut up, Luke.
Dinky D21 says, I jumped off the Luke train a few weeks ago, so his stupid behavior continues to bug me. Lorelai raised a daughter who acts a lot like April. How about, I don't know, properly introducing your fiance and realizing that some type of relationship between the two of them is just as important in the long run if you hope to marry this woman and continue to father this kid? And then they conclude it with a slur that I'm not gonna read. I'm not.
Cocktail waitress?
No, it's not good.
That one?
Yeah.
Oh, it's fucktard.
I don't.
Two
like
words
that.
I hate combined.
I mean,
into
I
one.
won't stand behind it, but I thought it was like the N-word. I don't know. The way you said it was like, I cannot.
The moderators usually crack down on the N-word and television without pity.
Yeah.
And now it's time for something we're
Before we do,
Yes.
I just want to mention, because I'd be remiss without saying that Ross almost made a TWOP soundbite for us to
Oh, yeah,
intro
that's
with,
right.
Which is so fun, but like, do you want to just tell them what you were going to do?
Yeah, is anyone a fan of Sade?
Woo!
Huge fan of Sade. So my twop would be something like this. Smooth operator. Smooth operator. Twop. Coast to coast, LA to Chicago, Western Maine.
I love this electric company stuff.
And that was my twop.
Those of you at home just missed a wonderful silhouette dance from behind.
Dance, great.
Yeah.
Hello. Okay, if only we had the time. Now let's open it up to some audience Q&A.
Audience Q&A.
Now, we got to be out of here pretty soon for the curfew, so a couple of rules before we get into it. One, don't be a weirdo. Seems pretty legit. Two, don't try to convince us that boyfriend X was the best boyfriend.
He's the worst boyfriend. He doesn't even have a name.
Yeah, boyfriend X. We don't know who this guy is. And then three, we'll just try to keep it short for time and get to as many questions as possible. So we'll do your name, your rating for the episode, and your question. So your name, your rating for the episode, and your question.
Amanda, I would give it 8.5 period scarves out of 10.
Yeah.
I guess my question is, I feel like Lorelai has been, throughout the series, very self-centered. I love her, but she's very self-centered. Do we feel like we are seeing a different side of Lorelai now when we're seeing Richard and Emily sort of understanding her, and then you watch her struggle with Luke, and Luke is kind of stupid, and Lorelai is really trying to communicate, but like there's kind of nothing she can do. Do we feel more understanding of Lorelai?
It is an interesting position because we do talk about that a lot. Like, Lorelai's selfish, Lorelai's queen of the town, Lorelai's blah, 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 blah. But now the story is putting this character into a position where she can't be selfish. And she's bending over backwards to compromise for her fiancé, but to the point where it's compromising what she wants in her own character. What was the question?
Yeah, what was the question?
Do we
I love all of that. Whatever you just said, I love.
But just basically, yeah, like, isn't it interesting how they're transforming her from a selfish person to someone who's like taking on a burden for another person?
I think she's still selfish in the situation, but it's one of those situations where she's allowed to be selfish because no one else is taking care of her, you know? I feel like this is a situation in which her selfishness is something that is done out of necessity and not like what she's just been used to. So I'm completely on her side about being selfish. It's self-care. It's not like obnoxious.
Self-care.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's self-care. She's not trying to hurt anybody. She's just realizing she has to get this done. But it's tough when you're a selfish person at heart.
Ooh.
Character-wise.
Character-wise. Your name, your rating for the episode, and your question.
My name is Caleb, and I would rate the episode as 8.25 sandwiches in a drawer.
Caleb, you have an awesome voice, by the way.
Thank
just
you,
so
sir.
you know.
Thank you. And my question, even though it does not pertain to the episode, would be, if you had to choose between not having a pet or basically taking on Cat Kirk, what would you do?
As much as it would pay me, I would not have a pet. I'm not a cat guy, I'm a dog guy. Love the doggies, love the pups. I don't think I could do Cat Kirk, unfortunately. Your name, your rating for the episode, and your question.
I'm Shayna, and I give it 9 out of 10 moonscapes. My question is for Demi.
Hello.
Hi.
Should we plug our ears while you ask it?
No. My question is, since you are watching this in the manner you are, Do you plan on coming back and watching it for leisure, for pleasure from the beginning of the series?
I don't think I'll be able to, honestly. I think I have a very hard time rewatching anything that is not purely comedy, and even then, it's just very hard for me to do that. But a show with 7 seasons that I've sort of seen already is not something that I can get back into the swing of very easily, especially one that is such a, I don't want to say drain as if like this is so bad for me, but like it's a thing that we're doing with every episode. So for me to go back and try and do it without so much of that feels a little too different.
I think it'd be hard for you to do it for leisure or pleasure.
Yeah.
Because you've invested so much.
Right, and I've already set up ways I feel about everyone, so it's just kind of like if I'm going back, I'm still analyzing, but just going like, well, Logan's back, I don't like this, now it's the bad episode parts or something. I don't think I can.
It would feel like going back to work, probably.
How are you?
Hello, I'm
Where'd
the
it go?
guy.
Oh my gosh.
I'm the Phantom of the Talia Hall. Hello.
You are.
I just wanted to get up here. Your name, your rating for the episode, and your question.
I'm Nora. I give it 7 out of 10 chocolate sauce covered marshmallows. And my question is for Kevin. If you could romantically pair Lorelai up with any Sorkin character, who would it be?
Oh,
Great
shoot.
question.
Lock the doors, Talia Hall. We're going to be here a while. Oh, damn. Oh, damn.
Seth Rogen and Steve Jobs.
Recognize the Luke Steiner team.
All Seth Rogen and Steve Jobs wants is for someone to say something. Lorelai would.
Oh, dang. I mean, I feel like where I go to, just in my heart, is Josh Lyman on The West Wing. Honestly, I feel like there's ways in which they could, I feel like Josh would be like the non-annoying version of Jason, of Digger. Like, they would be able to match each other in wit and energy.
AKA Christopher? Boo! No, you should boo.
Whoa.
Here's the thing, you should boo, but here's the thing. The whole thing of Digger was that they are the same person, so that without energy is Christopher. So mathematically, Christopher, boo away, motherfuckers.
Whoa!
Christopher isn't a Sorkin character, so I'm sorry I didn't add anything to that.
I'm sure there's a Christopher in something that Aaron Sorkin has written.
Isn't everyone a Christopher in all of Sorkin stuff?
Yeah, well, they're definitely white. Your name, your rating. Sorry, guys, it's a problem. Your name, your rating for the episode, and your question.
Hi, my name is Fatima. I give this episode a 9 out of 10 Danny Pudi cameos. I was just wondering if you ever forgot an important event, or if you had to make an excuse for a date. If that happened, just what is it?
Oh, the go-to excuse for missing an important date.
Who did that in this?
Rory forgot about the date which she had with Logan.
Oh, right.
Some people got really mad that you forgot that.
Look, I don't even
Son of
watch
a
this
bitch.
show, y'all. No, I'm kidding.
Rory!
I feel like I've been very good about excuses sometimes. Like if I know if I don't have an excuse, I'll just like suck it up and do whatever the terrible thing is. Now I'm trying to think. Have I had a good excuse for? Probably not. If I'm being true, I don't do many things. Like people know when they ask me, I have to be there. I'm at home all the time.
Can I answer that?
Yes, please.
I've heard this is an excuse that someone gave me, and this is absolutely true.
Was this April in middle school?
That's another story.
Okay.
Someone told me that they couldn't date me anymore because I look like a recently deceased relative.
Oh, shoot.
And I got on my bike and I laughed so hard on my way home.
Did the relative die before or after you started dating?
Like while we were dating.
Okay, that makes sense.
And didn't know about it. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Awesome, Kevin.
Sure.
Thank you.
Honestly,
If that makes sense, I would say that. I'm actually going to use that.
I feel like that's the perfect excuse. Like, where are you going to go? Like,
it is.
No, I'll shave. Like,
yeah.
Any stray observations before we rate the episode, boys?
I'm sorry. That
For the listener at home, this is when we're all pulling out our notes. What did we forget about that we're going to get an email
It's also
about
when I
later?
start humming the Monday Night Football theme, I guess.
Da 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 da.
Just really quick, I liked the bit where Logan was on the phone and he was like, yeah, a pen, I'm looking for a pen. And that it just always kills me when people are like, they don't need to, but like they grab a pen because they're like not understanding what's happening. They're like, oh, here's a pen. He's like,
Oh, and his look was
come on.
like,
He's like, guys, relax. Yeah, it was like, you guys never been around me? You guys know how I do.
Come on, you guys know I'm a liar. It's what I do.
That's what I do. Watch me jump over this Kia.
Why a Kia? Why is it a Kia?
That's what Blake Griffin did.
Because that's what Blake Griffin did to win the dunk contest.
Oh, is that a sport guy?
Sure is.
Okay.
He plays for the Clippers.
I know him as
Los Angeles Clippers, where we all live.
This is true. I've seen Blake Griffin do improv 3 times, so I know him as the improviser guy. He's pretty funny.
Well, he did the funniest bit ever of jumping over a Kia.
Hilarious.
I had the note that Logan's smile when he's like leaning back on the chair and like tapping the pencil on Rory's shoulder makes him look like a Disney prince. In like a.
Which one?
Gaston is
I was
what
gonna
wrote.
say Gaston!
Because he's like doing the weird, like that smirk, but he's also just like so smarmy about it.
Yeah.
It's just so. Logan's smile.
No one writes Logan. No one reports like Logan. No one cheats and he lies and extorts like Logan.
There you go. I was like, I don't remember the
That was on the spot. Unreal.
Now that was improv. Now jump over a Kia.
Suki finds out about a kid. A kid like a goat? Are they called goats? Are baby goats called kids?
Yep.
Wow.
This is fun when you guys finish our sentences, but it's also fun when you are just one hive mind answering a question.
Yeah.
You guys are my computer.
What
I
did
should
you
have looked
teach
that up
again
too.
in middle school?
Shoes.
Okay, great.
Richard, when he's so focused on how he had to yell at the bursar's office and he keeps bringing it up, it reminded me so much of the Dewey Cox of like, and you never once paid for drugs. It's just
Not once.
I was just like, let it go. This is such a small thing, like to bring up, especially in the dinner.
And especially for the Gilmores, they got money to burn. They're fine.
Send them scotch. You were not wrong.
Oh boy.
They said there's a dog named Chef in this episode that is mentioned. I'd name a dog Chef. That's a good name. I was like, yeah, that's it.
When they were talking dog names?
Huh?
When they were talking dog names?
Yeah.
I'm a chef, because, I'm a chef.
I loved that. Paul Anka supposedly knocked all those books off the shelf, but not like the weird plaster Fabergé egg sculptures that Lorelai had.
Yeah.
Only the books.
I don't
What a
wanna
quirky
deal
dog.
with that.
He really is.
What a quirky dog.
He's a funny dog.
You know what we didn't deal with? The fact that Suki knows or suspects that Jackson is a man whore of a sort, and that he spreads his seed around. Believe
Well, before
me.
they were married.
In the town, in the small town.
Before they were together. Nothing
think-
wrong with it. Still just weird to bring it up. Just like, dude was fertilizing.
Which townie do you think is most likely to have been an ex of Jackson's?
An ex of Jackson's?
Would it be Meth Lady?
Gypsy.
Gypsy, okay.
Yeah,
Gypsy's
Gypsy
the
makes
only townie that isn't a child or like 60.
And we know the name of them.
Yes.
Oh, Gypsy stars hollow to Rose Abdu, a Chicago native.
That's true.
Who was unfortunately absent this
You know what? I think I'm gonna say Slutsky actually from that one episode.
Oh, Mrs. Slutsky!
She broke Jackson's heart.
That would check out. Oh, boy.
My last note was don't flirt with this monster in reference to Logan. She hasn't taken him back, and up until the last episode, she didn't seem to be willing to even talk to him. But on the something happens with the note, which is such lazy writing. They don't tell us the note. I'm very frustrated about that because it goes from her being pissed at him to she reads a note and suddenly she's like flirting with him in the town. It's like, just show us what the transition was. You clearly just wanted to get back to.
Sometimes the show stumbles with going from A to B to C. It usually goes to A to C or A to D in some cases.
This is straight. Yeah, this is A to M or something. It's crazy.
Yeah. Should we rate the episode, boys?
Let's rate it.
All right. Guys, I mean, like I said, this could have been the finale for me. In a way, it is the finale of, like, cut it off and I'm happy. I'm giving it 10 out of 10 excellent sorbets. So good. Love the choices. Love the camera work. Wish they would have continued to do more interesting risk-taking things on the show like that. And maybe we would have seen that in Amy Sherman Palladino season 7 or 8. But fortunately, we did not. But maybe we will on Netflix, so that'll be cool. Ross.
10 out of 10. Suki's on the case hats.
I was gonna do that same thing. I was gonna say ska hats. Anyway.
Oh, ska hat.
No, Suki's on the case. She looks like a.
She's on the case.
She's wearing a Harriet the Spy hat.
And she's got a CGI brooch.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. A lot going on. I love the back half of this episode. Logan comes in, saves the day. Not a fan of Logan. Love that he put it out there, showing his love by, saying I have influence, so I'm going to do this for you.
Mm-hmm.
Also that you've never seen it in the show before, where they do the one take, and the handheld cam. It's the best. It's the best.
So
Edward Herrmann, being a big dude like myself, it's like, can I do acting? And you look at Shaq and Edward Herrmann, and you're like,
Wait, you look
I
at
can
Shaq
act.
for good acting?
Kazam, my man.
All right, yeah. But
Wait,
still,
Shaq who?
Shaq. Anyway, 10 out of 10. Loved it.
Oh, by the way, happy birthday to Shaq. That was yesterday or the day ago or something.
Was it?
44.
Yeah, it was.
I think it's today.
I don't know if that's gonna play on the
yes,
podcast. Though.
Yeah, just know that it was Shaq's birthday at some point.
At some
in time.
point, Shaq was born.
I feel like my rating can't do this episode justice because don't boo.
Hang on.
Oh my god, I should have led with whatever. It's a 10 out of 10. What was the thing I chose? 10 out of 10. Darn yo-yos. That darn yo-yo off the floor. I told you to get. But I feel like 10 out of 10 isn't fair because I do think the episode has problems, but like. The last scene alone is like a 44 out of 10. Everything else in the episode almost doesn't matter.
That's the thing. That's sometimes how I rate it, where it's like, yeah, it had stuff that was not perfect. Like I didn't like Paris is crazy for no reason. Rory's great now. Logan saves it. Like there's things about that are contrived and not earned. But But again, that last scene, and there are these moments on these shows, the micro moments that just make it so sweet and delicious and excellent. And the Friday night dinner fight at the end of that was definitely that.
Yeah.
Micro means small.
Sure does. I remember it by remembering that macro means big, like macaroni.
It's
like big macaroni.
Like the huge noodle macaroni.
Macaroni?
Macaroni.
It's micro-roni. That's what it's called, macaroni.
Oh, gosh.
Macaroni, dirty jobs.
Now it's a food podcast.
Boy.
Yeah, I think it's a great episode with a lot of problems, but the problems don't really matter because by the end of it, I'm just having so much fun. I think that they purposefully had the crazy camera one be first, so it's like a roller coaster.
Yeah.
And it's so perfectly set up that I truly, if we didn't talk about the rest of the episode, I'd be like, oh, who fucking cares? Like, nothing happened. I don't give a shit. It's the last scene that makes this so wonderful.
It's the last 7 minutes. For me. That's what made it the 10.
And it's so funny because I feel like this was set up to me. It's like, here we go. It's finally something you've always wanted. And then it's just 5 minutes of it's so great.
I mean, do you remember, Demi, the last time you gave kind of a complicated 10 out of 10? It was 513. It was the Wedding Bell Blues episode.
Oh, yeah.
You were like, 10 out of 10. I kind of hate it, but yeah.
I love when they take risks that make me feel anything aside from like, hey, I guess it's another Gilmore Girls episode. Because I feel like it's hard for this show to do, but when it does it so strongly.
Totally.
I think I give a 9 out of 10 to Fight Face, which is weird, but that was just a fun. Fun episodes are always high marks for me because that's what I want from this show.
Yeah, anything showcasing TJ in a big way is a big high.
Man, that guy needs his own show.
Hey, TJ.
Where's Home Improvement, the reboot with TJ?
That's
yeah.
Or he has like, if it was made in the reboot, maybe he has a YouTube channel where he's like fixing stuff.
It's Dog with a Blog,
That would be so
TJ.
Oh, guys, now it's time for Where You Tweet, I Will Follow, Mr. Digiweebe.
Hello, I'm Mr. Digiweebe. You can follow me at Mr. Digiweebe. No, I'm at Electrolemon on everything, and my plug for today is, again, don't know the cross-section of people who love this show and also really love hip-hop, but there is a book, like a coffee table book written by a guy named Shea Serrano, who used to be a Grantland writer. Yes, it's called The Rap Yearbook, and it's seriously the coolest fucking thing I've ever read. Even if you don't like hip-hop, it's just so fascinating to read about the history of rap from 1979. It's like a coffee table book, but it's beautifully illustrated. There's a foreword by Ice-T. It's so fun to read. And like, for me, as someone who didn't really know anything, like I didn't grow up with hip hop. I grew up around a bunch of white people, and I'm still finding my black identity as someone who enjoys hip hop. This isn't a bit. This is all
No
true.
bit zone, guys.
But it's just so fascinating to read this, and like especially when you get to current day and you hear about all these songs that I know. It's like, oh, they're talking about Monster with Jay-Z, and this is like the behind the scenes and like analysis of it. It's so fascinating. Anyway, it's a good book.
It's the good book, one might say.
My name is Ross. Oh.
Go ahead.
Oh,
I
okay.
was gonna
Here I
intro
go.
you.
Are you gonna rap?
My name is Ross Kimball, and you can find me at Ross Kimball, like the brown line, Kimball. Brown line. And you can find me there on Twitter and Instagram, Ross Kimball. Also, I'm a huge Hocus Pocus fan.
Oh, this video is amazing.
So I made a video a few years ago being the prop master for that movie. So it's me. You can find that at rosskimball.com if you type that in.
It's so good. Ross has all these web videos. One of my favorites is the stunt video.
Yes, I loved
the
that.
stunt reel. Look up Ross Kimball stunt reel, and you will not be disappointed. It's so good. Oh my gosh.
Man, pop culture right now. I'm really. Sade is not a bit. I don't say, oh, I love Sade. I grew up with Sade, not in my house, but in my speakers. And
He was downstairs, made a lot of
Sade
noise.
making eggs. I purchased the best of Sade, and it's just great driving music. If you just want to chill out, if you're on the train and you're like, this is Monday, I hate it, throw on some Sade, Soldier of Love.
When you're not listening
and
to
it's not a
Gilmore
bit.
Guys.
I love Sade. So that's kind of the pop culture I'm into right now. Yeah. Thank you guys for having me.
You guys are welcome, is what I almost said. Follow me at Kevin T. Porter for all the fun stuff. I'm going to plug, not Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul. I think it's so terrific. It continues to be like a great low hum, different frequency totally from what Breaking Bad was, but still a high, just like a very interesting, coming at the story from a totally different angle. And Jonathan Banks as Mike Ehrmantraut, guys, is just one of my favorite performances of anything ever. Walter, you're gonna have to, just all, it's the gruffness, it's all so terrific. So that's my plug, Better Call Saul, and then specifically the performance of Mr. Jonathan Banks. So that's it. Guys, give it up for Ross Kimball for being our guest for tonight. Thank you for coming out to the show. We have merch back there at the table. Please buy it. We don't want to take it home. We got shirts, we got posters, we got the whole thing. We'll be out there if you guys want to say hi. We'll be out there for a little bit, and they'll need to pack up here, so maybe we can go outside and say hi to all of you. But we want to see you and talk to you, so we want to do that and just express how thankful and grateful we are for your listenership and just coming on this crazy, weird journey. It's weird, guys. Like, understand, it's weird that you're one of 600 people in this gorgeous music venue, Talia Hall, like listening to these idiots talking about Gilmore Girls.
It's a beautiful thing, if you ask me.
It's a beautiful, weird thing. And we're so honored to have been a part of it and to be a part of your commutes and your daily lives and your cleaning and your working and everything that you're doing. And we just so appreciate it. And yeah, so thank you so much. Thank you guys again for coming so much. So much for coming to the show. And there's only one thing left to...
We're out on the road, feeling lonely and so cold. Come on, get up, y'all. All you have to do is call my name and I'll be there on the next train. Where you lead, I will follow anywhere that you tell me to. If you need me to be with you, I will follow. Where you lead, I will follow. Anywhere that you tell me to. If you need me to be with you, I will follow. Where you lead.
I like that song.
We're all entitled here.
Thank you so
much. We love you.
We love you. We'll be seeing you. Goodbye.